as depend on sorry, Mr. Toastmaster, do you want the reports after each of the segments or at the end?
We can do a final report at the end.
Okay.
That might be good. Thank you.
So I will present the report at the end. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Lee. And really appreciate your dedication and commitment to Toastmasters being available at this midnight hour. It's amazing. I think we all have to learn something from you. Thank you very much. Right. So next we go on to okay, there are 3 other roles which the general evaluator will cover, and that's the grammarian R counter and the general evaluator role itself. So I'd like to hand over to Rosianna to give us information about all the 3 roles. Thank you very much, Rosianna.
Thank you so much. Greetings, Somesh, Mr. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the general evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout this meeting. During the meeting, I will take notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen. I will evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparations, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duties. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Distinguished Toastmaster Somesh. So right now, let me introduce the grammarian, right?
Please, yes.
Okay, thank you. So the grammarian we have today is Toastmaster Arthur. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Would you like to introduce the word of the day and also introduce the role and the word of the day? Please, thank you.
Good evening, Toastmasters. My role as
Can't hear you.
the grammarian today is to basically provide constraints. Yes. And for the word of the day today is vouch. Vouch. So vouch means to assert or confirm as a result of one's own experience that something is true or accurately so described.
All right.
And as an example,
Can't hear you, Arthur. I can't hear you.
Seems you're on mute, is it, Arthur?
Arthur, I can't hear you.
I think he has dropped out.
No, still got that.
All right, so shall we proceed? I'm not sure how to spell the word of the day. Vouch. All right, thank you, Fatima. It's vouch. All right. So the next one is going to be the timer. None other than our Madam Lee. Over to you, Madam Lee.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. My role as the timer is to keep track of time in terms of the individual speaking, for example, the speeches, the table topics, as well as with timing of the conduct of the meeting in general. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Madam Lee. All right, now we have our R counter, Kathy. I give it to you, Kathy, please. You're on mute.
I'm sorry, I was unmuting myself and it said the host muted me, so I was confused. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. As the odd counter, I will be in charge of making us aware of what our filler words like, and so all and other filler words that we might be adding to extend time to our speech, or that we may not just may not be aware of. So that is what my role as odd counter will be today.
Thank you, Kathy. All right, thank you. So now I give it back to you, DTM Somesh.
Thank you very much, Rosianna and team. Now we go to the first part of the meeting, that's the speeches. So the first speech is by Fatima, which is called the Membership Drive. It's from Innovative Planning Level 3, Project 3, and the evaluator is Rocky. Rocky, can you please give the purpose of the speech in terms of what are the things that you're evaluating on? Thank you very much.
Sure, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. The purpose of the speech is a member will deliver a well-organized speech about his or her proposal. The proposal may affect any area of the member's personal or professional life or the Toastmaster Club. The member may present the entire proposal or aspect of it. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The style of the speech should fit the content. The speech is not a report on the content of the present proposal project. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Rocky. With a speech entitled Membership Drive, Fatima.
Let me share my screen before I begin my speech. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, tonight I'm going to talk about membership drive. This has been an issue for all our clubs across the world. Now, our division 102, we had over 7,000 members before COVID, but like any other businesses, Toastmasters International has been affected. And last month, at the end of the month, from 7,000, we had only 2,000 renewing their membership. And this is where I'm presenting my proposal, how we can increase membership drive. Now, as a group where we are Personal Growth Advanced Club, I thought I will do a little bit research and share what I feel personal growth is. Of course, this is a definition that sums up what we believe as a group. Now, personal growth is a transformational process in which it will impact in all areas of our lives: physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, social, and even it may uplift our financial status. This is where personal growth is so crucial to our development. Now, when we look at the benefits of this proposal, it's important to have diverse learning throughout to increase and reach to the next level. And whatever we do as a club, we need to have that aspects, that elements of personal growth in all of our members. And the main key focus, even I belong to 4 other clubs, an increase in membership, the membership drive is crucial at this time, especially during pandemic. However, knowing that even with the pandemic or other challenges in life, we have to keep going. And one way we can learn is by growing together. And this is where I joined this club, because I know it gives meaning to my life, being part of all of you. And some suggestions I have already discussed, but again, I think we need consistently engage ourselves. Maybe after each meeting, this is our 5th meeting, as Shomesh has highlighted. Each meeting, we need to have business meeting and define our goals, where we want to go, how we can achieve our target to charter this club. And we did, all of us, all our members, we proposed that we're gonna charter this club by end of this year. And I can see this vision that as a group, we can do it. Now, since it's been very short, only a few weeks ago, and we have about 15 committed members, if I'm correct. We are short of a few members, but I can see the long commitment we are giving. And we see the number of members who are coming. We have 12 members here today. Even, most established clubs, they have a hard time getting their members coming to the club meetings. And I'm proud, as a group, we are doing very well. We have to, let's give ourselves a clap and pat our shoulders. We are doing well. Thank you so much, guys. Let's keep up doing this. Now, other thing I would propose is we need our club members, all of you here who turn up, but let's give us value, add that value by booking speeches so that we can learn from all of you. It's not only a few members, but all of you. That will keep us engaging with, learn more about each of you. And here a few things that came up, because from what I have seen in other clubs, we can do strategies like have an open day. Maybe in a month's time, we can target a huge invitation to get members from other clubs attending this. And maybe we can also have an educational session, because I belong to Storytellers Club, which the key focus, like us, we have club growth, but their focus is storytelling. And each meeting, they have an education session, which seems to draw in guests. We are 16 members, but each meeting, they have about 10 members joining in, which is huge. So I think we should try to do that. And maybe we need some help from a social media expert. We are trying our best, but we need to look at what strategies we can improve to do more. Now, I would like to leave with a quote that as a group, as a team, I really like all of you, because we are a hardworking, committed group. And despite all the challenges, difficulties, we are coming together weekly. That's difficult, because even all the clubs I belong, we have, bi-monthly meetings, but we are having weekly meetings and we are committed. Now, the quote I'm leaving is, the harder you work for something, the greater you will feel when you achieve it. So I feel that once this club gets chartered, we'll be over the moon, because over the weeks, we have been working with one vision inside one objective that we all know. So thank you, back to you.
Thank you very much, Fatima. It gives a good vision to us in terms of how we should go forward and have a one-pointed vision. Okay, we go to the next part, next speech. which is by John, and it's on mentoring. To give the objectives of the speech, I would like to invite Anvita so that she can help out with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Somesh. Toastmaster John is attempting his advanced mentoring project speech. The purpose of this project is for the member to apply mentoring skills during a long-term mentoring commitment. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her experience as a mentor. All the best to the speaker. Over to DTM Somesh.
Thank you very much, Anvita. With a speech entitled Mentoring, please welcome John Khalid.
Can you put a thumbs up or a hand up if you are a mentor? Yeah. So we've got a few mentors there. Can you tell me if you've, thumbs up if you've finished the mentoring program of Pathways? 1, 2. So 2 have. Yeah, 3 have. That's good. That's good. That's very good. Because I went online on TI now, and to be a mentor, you have to do a whole Pathways plus do the mentoring. Yeah, that's what they're saying now. One time you get to level 2 and you could start mentoring, because then it opens the mentoring program. Yeah, but now they're saying you become a mentor after you've done the whole pathway and the mentoring program. So it's actually changed slightly. I only found out when I started looking at doing this, to be quite honest. So mentoring. This is level 5 in the mentoring program. It's my last project on this, and you have to mentor for 6 months to actually then look back and reflect on your mentoring. So my mentoring started off, I've been doing now as a mentor for about a year, and it's not been easy, because you have to mentor another person, and you've got different types of personalities, different cultures that you have to contend with. So it can be quite difficult. My first protege, I was assigned this protege, a young lady, Malaysian lady, in her 20s, a teacher, very good English, very good English. And she came up to me when she found out I was a mentor, because I introduced myself. She said, "Oh, I'm glad that you're my mentor." Yeah, and I said, "Oh, thank you very much." I booked a time for us to sit down and actually talk about what her objectives were in Toastmasters, what she was expecting in the future. And then for some reason, after that meeting, we sat down, I filled all the papers in, because you get a reef of papers to fill in, and they have to fill in a paper about you as well. After that, I texted her a couple of times. She never got back to me. She wouldn't answer my texts. Yeah. But if my wife, Fatima, sent her a text, straight away she'd get back to Fatima. So personally, I don't know what I did wrong, to be quite honest. It was a family. She eventually got back to me after about 5 or 6 texts, and she didn't renew this year, but she'd never done a speech. She didn't do her icebreaker. She didn't do anything. And it leaves me with the thought, why did she join Toastmasters? She came to 3 meetings and she was a grammarian. Now, a lot of people don't like being a grammarian, but she loved being a grammarian. And I didn't want to push her to do her icebreaker. So I tried subtly saying, let's get your first speech out the way, but no. I don't know if it's an age thing, a gender thing, but it always leaves you in the mind, what did I do wrong? My second protege, again, a young lady, but she was a Chinese lady who lived in Malaysia. And she actually sat next to me once when she came to visit the club. And then she decided to join the club, and I was assigned her mentor. So again, what I do is I always take my wife if I'm meeting a woman. I don't go out face to face with a woman on my own. I always take my wife so that I'm not alone with a woman at any time. We sat down, I went through everything with her, and brilliant. I said, let's get your first speech. I said, I'm going to book it for this day. All right, send me your script. She sent me the script. Within 48 hours, I had her script. I went through a script. We met up again, and this time was on virtual. And I got her to do her speech 3 times. And we did it about 3 times we met up. So she did her speech 9 times in the end. She did a speech on that day, and she won Best Speaker out of 4, the 4 people that we had up for speaking. She won the first. So I was very proud. I'll tell you what, I was more proud of her getting that than I did getting my own speeches or getting Best Speaker for my own speeches. And that's the feeling when you are a mentor that you get from that. Now, she turned around and, because at the end of her speech, I had to sit down with her again, fill out for more board, and you get asked, do you want to keep the mentor or do you want a new mentor? She said, I like to keep my mentor. Yeah. So she, as my protege, is perfect. Even though there is an age difference, her English is not very good, but she's very dedicated to Toastmasters. So this is a good protege. Now I've got another protege, which is a gentleman who's my own age. And I won't say, he's a bit like me, a bit cantankerous, to be quite honest. So we get on quite well, very well. He's actually had to go back to the States. He's in America now because he lives in the same condominium as me. But he's gone back to the States. But ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, get out there and start mentoring people. It's the best thing you can do. It's the best feeling you will get to mentor people. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, John Khalid, for the great speech. I can vouch that everyone here would be thinking about how to be a good mentor and a good protege as well after the speech. Right, so we go, this whole meeting is in terms of 3 different sections. We have completed the first section of prepared speeches. Now we go to the second section in terms of the table topics. And the table topics master role is being done by Madhu. Over to you, Madhu. Please describe the role and start the topics. Thank you very much.
Thank you, TM Modi Somesh. Good morning, all the Toastmasters. I am Madhu. I am the table topic master for the today's meeting. Let me explain how the table topic master goes on. Table topic master session is an impromptu speech session wherein I will give the speech to any speaker I can pick, or else any volunteer can come forward and take the topic. You have to speak minimum 1 minute, maximum is 2 and 2.5 minutes. At 1 minute, green will be shown. At 1.5 minute, it will be yellow color. At 2 minutes, it will be shown red. You will have the grace of 30 seconds and you need to wind up your speech. This is the agenda of this session. I have few questions based on the situations. So first I will read out the situations. If any volunteers can come forward, or else I will pick one of you. The first situation it is, what would you do? What would you do if you are the president of your country? Any volunteer?
Yeah, shall I take?
Yeah, please go ahead. Toastmaster Martish.
Yeah, thank you. It's very good questions, and also in my I have ambition to become a president. In our country, we have a lot of issues because India is a second largest population country in the world. Here, so many peoples are there, and so many resources are there. But only thing is we don't have more capital. Hence, what we have the resources that we want to utilize properly, and we want to come up in our life. Hence, if we see, we have land resources, populations is there. Population we want to population is like people. That people we want to convert them into resources, like giving the education, skills, knowledge. This and all when we give, they will be they will become a productive persons. They also involved in the economic activities, and if they earn and they get the profit, they will invest in the other aspects. They will consume some consumer goods. Like that, the whole economy will be changed, and they can improve. Like this, every country, not only India, every country want to follow what they have, the abundant resources that they want to utilize, and where there is a scarce resources, that one they want to import and export, and have a collaborate relations with the worldwide nations. Like that, I have a ambition. Thank you. Over to table topic master.
Thank you, Martish, for such a wonderful thought processing. You explained very well about the India. There are many sources, but not able to utilize it in proper way. So I wish you to become a president in future of India to eradicate this corruption. Thank you for your inputs about the topic. The next topic, what would you do if I give you $10,000? What would you do if I give you $10,000? Toastmaster Maria, can you? Yeah, Toastmaster Kathy, you can go ahead.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. What would I do if you gave me $10,000? That is an amazing question. And I have the answer right off the bat. My husband and I, due to COVID, have both lost our jobs. We're not really that worried right now because financially we're pretty well set up. We're getting closer and closer to retirement, so this is a very good thing. But what I would do with that $10,000, my husband is an aviation technician. And in our garage, this is not normal in the US, by the way. My car is parked in the garage, but right next to it, my husband is building a one-seater kit plane that is taking up the other spot in our garage. He was almost finished with this airplane, but if you're familiar with what a kit airplane looks like, this is an ultralight, which is a very small plane that doesn't handle air very well, you know, like if it was very gusty, windy, like it normally is here in Kansas. But the last large purchase we needed to do was to put there's a covering that goes on the exterior of the plane. And when he found out that he might be losing his job, he couldn't purchase that particular item. So that is the one thing that really needs to get done before he can actually go and fly, which I will not be able to fly in it because it's a one-seater. but that is where the $10,000 would go, is for my husband to be able to finish his airplane. Thank you very much for the $10,000. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kathy, for nice speaking about the topic. So I hope you may get a lot of money in future and full all your dreams. Okay. So the next topic, what would you do if you're stuck in the traffic for 10 hours? I may pick the Rock, Toastmaster DTM Rock.
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, what was his question again?
What would you do if you got stuck in the traffic for 10 hours?
I got stuck in traffic for 10 hours?
Yes.
Well, I'd probably have to just wait until the traffic decided to go. I don't know that I'd really have a lot of choices there. Maybe turn on the radio and listen to that while I'm waiting. It's not really a lot of options on places to go with that question. I think it'd be just very time consuming. Maybe think about what that I had to do with my business while I was waiting. Think about different ways that I could get my business going stronger than it is. Maybe think about what I'm going to do later in the day, possibly what I'm going to have for dinner. I think it'd be really kind of a time just to maybe sit back and contemplate as to what that you're going to do later and just wait for things to pick up. Other than that, I don't really know what to say on that question, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, DTM Rock, for such a thought processing. Yeah, though you got stuck in the traffic, without wasting time, you focus on your business. So for that, hands up. If I got stuck in the traffic for 10 hours, I would have watched 3 movies. One movie 3 hours through, so totally 3 movies, and 1 hour is for a break between each movies. So the next topic. What will you do if there are robbers in your home? What will you do if there are robbers in your home? Toastmaster Toyin? Toastmaster Toyin, can you take this topic? I think. Or else Toastmaster Arthur? So no choice. Any volunteers, please can come forward.
The question was if robber is at home, is it?
Yes, yes.
But I think the first thing that we'll do is we'll probably get panicked. That would be the first reaction. And then, take some action. Probably have some, what is it called? The chili powder or something. Put it on his eyes. try and put chili powder and then just bind the person with a rope and call the police. That would be it. I think I can vouch that I can do only these things. Over to you, Topics Master Madhu. I think we can do one more topic and then
Thank you.
Get on. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, TM Somesh. So this is the last topic. If you are the only person on this earth, how do you spend your life? Toastmaster John, can you please attend this topic?
I was going to say peacefully, but I'll probably get hit in the head. No, if I was the last person on earth, well, it wouldn't be long after that. There'd be no people on the earth. But how would I spend my time? Well, the first thing is I've got to make something that I can eat. So I'll have to make myself a garden. Yeah, somewhere to live. Yeah, and if I'm the only one left, I'll find the biggest mansion and live in that. To make up my time, because there'll be no television. Yeah, there'll be nothing electronic won't work because there'll be no electricity or anything like that. So I think I'd have a pet. There'll be plenty of pets about, so there'll be plenty of animals, and I decide what type of pet I want. Yeah? As long as it's not a tiger that will be out to eat me or something like that. So probably, I like cats. So I probably have a cat, because cats, well, you don't own a cat, the cat owns you, sort of thing. But I'll probably have something like a cat to keep me company, yeah, or a number of cats. But that, I think, yeah, oh, there's a cat from Rocky. But that's to spend my time, there'll still be books. I could just walk into a library and have a whole library to myself. And I don't have to be silent. I can shout at the top of my head while reading a book, or I'll read out loud. Yeah. But one thing is, there'll be no wars. And there'll be peace on earth. Okay. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster John, for such a nice speak. Book is the best friend more than anyone. There is a quote. So you mentioned in your topic for that amazing thought. Hands up, and it's all congratulations for all the participants. And now I'm over to the Toastmaster Somesh.
Thank you very much, Madhu. It was quite interesting set of topics, really humorous. And yeah, you need to think a lot to answer those topics. So thank you very much for that. Now we go to the second part where about evaluation, the third part of the program about evaluations. So the first evaluation was for Fatima's speech, and it was to be done by Rocky. So over to you, Rocky. Please give us the evaluation. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Fatima. Your speech was really a great speech as far as what I was concerned. I could tell you definitely had good eye contact and gestures. One thing I would mention on that is maybe stand up and move back away from your camera a little bit so that we can see your gestures a lot better. During your speech, it looked like John was doing something in the background, which was kind of distracting a little bit from your speech. I don't know if he was like writing on a board or what that he was doing exactly back there, but it was definitely flashing in and out while that you were giving your speech. So I would suggest maybe either have him just stay seated or move out of the picture completely while that you're giving your speech so that you don't have that distraction. I know it's a problem with being on Zoom, especially with it flashing in and out. Same thing with your virtual background. If you're able to do it, I would say get some kind of a background that is stationary and isn't using that screen, because that way you're not flashing in and out. You had a great layout of the plans to get the organization of the club up and running. And I really kind of enjoyed listening to what that you had to say on that, as well as your member commitment, which I think we have really strong in this club. I think overall it was a great speech, and I look forward to your next speech, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Rocky, for your evaluation. We
It
go
was
to
a burst pipe, Rocky. It was a burst
What?
pipe a burst pipe in the bathroom. It went off, a burst pipe, and I had to run in there to turn the water off and got soaked. So you'll notice I'm wearing a different shirt.
Yeah.
That's not good.
It's all right. It's kind of an unusual thing to do the speech in this kind of a format. Therefore, it's really good to give that helpful advice as to what to do in order to make your speech better in this environment.
Thank you. We go to the next evaluation, which would be done by Anvita for John's speech. Over to you, Anvita. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Somesh. Good day, Toastmasters, guests, and to the speaker, Toastmaster John in particular. A mentor is a person who helps us to see hope inside us. And I'm glad that you have done it for all your mentees, Toastmaster John. I enjoyed your speech thoroughly. I loved your opening where you asked mentors to either give thumbs up or raise their hand. Now that kept me engaged. For me, the highlight of your entire speech was your excellent body language. You had apt gestures at places when you showed look back, filling paper, meetings, always, next, and so on. Now, all of this helped me to visualize your entire speech. You also had fantastic vocal modulation, especially when you did your mentee's voice. That brought her character into life. I also like the apt pauses which you used, for example, of the future after you said assign mentor. So that helped me grasp the information very quickly. I have two suggestions for you. At two instances of your speech, you extended your hand to the left in order to point out to Toastmaster Fatima. Now at those 2 points, your entire hand disappeared because of your virtual background. So I would suggest if you have extended movements like that in the future, then you can maybe consider having a natural background. And you also told that your first protege left Toastmasters. Now, I was very curious to know why she left Toastmasters so abruptly. Was she disinterested? What happened? Did you face any challenges there? So probably you could have added some more detail there to satisfy my curiosity. I also loved the command you have over the language. The way you described all the three mentees were very vivid. I felt as if I'm connected to them because of it. I also loved the way you brought out feelings in your speech. For example, you said that mentoring was difficult. Yes, I could relate to it because initially, even I found mentoring very difficult because each and every person is different from the other. Also, when you said that you were very happy when your mentee got the Best Speaker Award, you expressed it so well that even I felt happy. So feelings were brought out beautifully in your speech. To summarize, great content, very well structured, seamless transition, excellent vocal variety and body language. A few improvements in your background and a few more details will take your speech to perfection. Over to the GE.
Thank you very much. Great evaluation, Anvita. I can vouch that this is what the Advanced Club is made up of. It should be evaluations like these. Thank you very much. Over to you,
Yes.
General Evaluator, in terms of the reports from Grammarian, R-Counter, and yourself as well. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster. All right, so now we're going, I think we have our grammarian report. Arthur, are you ready with your report, please?
Yes, I'm ready with the report. My apologies, I lost touch with a part of the presentation, but still I managed to capture a few things around grammar. Generally, we have not done extremely well in terms of the word of the evening, which was vouch. The Somesh, I don't know if I pronounced that right, Somesh,
has used the word of the evening twice, which is very good, but most of us have not used it. In terms of grammar, I picked up a few things. Marutesh, you said in our country we have lot of problems. A better use of language there would have been, so every country in our country we have a lot of problems. It could have been better if you used in our country we have a lot of problems with an A there. And again, every country wants to import and export. A better use would have been every country wants to import and export. For Madhu, you said, I wish to you to become president. A better way of saying that would have been, I hope you become president. Generally, that's what I captured. I missed a bit of the session, so I may have lost a lot in the process. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, Arthur. Right now we go to timer, please. Madam Lee, for a timer report, please.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. As the timer, I can vouch for the individual timings I am about to report on. The meeting started 5 minutes late at 5 past 2. Opening and role introductions took 7 minutes. 5 minutes were allocated for this. Prepared speeches took 15 minutes. Table topics, again, I think they must have been ESP, took 15 minutes as well. Speeches and evaluations and reports so far, we've taken about 15 minutes so far. For project speakers, Fatima was 7 minutes 6 seconds. John was 7 minutes 20 seconds. Project evaluators, the first evaluation at The Rock was 1 minute 42 seconds, and Anvita, the second evaluator, took 2 minutes 55 seconds. Grammarian Arthur took 2 minutes and 25 seconds. And I will post these individual timings in the chat so that the speakers and evaluators can have a look, at the individual timings for their future references as well. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Madam Lee. Very comprehensive report that you have. And I like it very much, especially when you flash out the timer when we were explaining about the table topic, the 1 minute, and then a minute and a half and so on. So that's very great. And then you always put your timer clock there for everybody to notice it. And that's very good. This is the most effective timer I've seen so far. Congratulations, thank you for that. Before that, I forgot to mention about the grammarian just now because I cannot see your face, Arthur, but it would be nice and more personal if we can see your face, however. But despite that, you have done a good job in the background because you have given the report very well there. Okay, so now we go on to our counter, shall we? Counter, please.
Hi, fellow Toastmasters.
Kathy. Yeah, Kathy.
Oh, hi. So we did pretty well today. We did have one specific crutch word, and I'll get with that in just a moment. Fatima, you had one in your speech, which is actually pretty good for the length of speech. John, you had an so, an and an but I don't really know that it's a crutch word, but you multiple times used the word now to kind of transition in your speech. So I don't know if you wanted that in there or if that was just kind of a helpful transition for you, just something to think we did have more than 15 Oz in here. So I think what, especially during table topics, I know that makes a lot of people really nervous. Trying to like pause a little bit more rather than just throwing in the Oz, and just be a little bit more aware of that. So we were pretty strong on the Oz on that in table topics. So just, you know, take a little deep breath, because I know a lot of times people get really nervous in table topics, but that's where most of the Oz came in, not in the speeches, but in the table topics. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, Kathy. That's great. Apart from giving a comprehensive report, you also give some advice that we should pause, which I know I have a lot of R's even until now and forgot to pause at the same time. That's great. That's great advice. Thank you so much. So I think we've covered about all here today. Did we? All right. So right now I'm giving the report. We started a bit late this just now. I think that was covered by Lee. Thank you, Lee. And then I think our Toastmasters did a great job by welcoming all of us, and gave and table topic also give a chance to other people, other guests to participate, and a very great table topic as well. All those kind of thinking that we need to be thinking, except that just a bit on that into the theme today that we have. Probably we can have more of our theme here, like we have choices, hopes, and fears, maybe related to that as well in the speech. Apart from that, everything I think is very good. A lot of energy, I can sense and feel. A lot, very great. All the evaluations. Other than that, this is actually my first time doing my being a general evaluator. Maybe Toastmasters, I maybe you can give some feedback on me on this. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmasters.
That brings us to the end of this meeting. We are 2 minutes to the hour, so that's great. We are following the time to a good perfection now. Ending the meeting again with the same quote that we started. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears, said by Nelson Mandela. Let's keep this constantly in our mind, and let's always be happy in terms of whatever choices we make. Thank you all very much for this 1 hour. It's been great. If it's needed, we can discuss about what the plans are in terms of getting more charter members.
Okay.
What should we do? I think if every club member gets one member, that will do the job, but it's not that easy to get one member to commit.
Yeah, we want one member, don't we? Where am I?
What are you saying, John?
No, it's just you're saying about that. We've since
Pandemic.
Since where we took over 1st of July, we've got 7 members joined. We only want 1, and we're president distinguished.
One more to go.
One more to go. One more member we need to be a president distinguished. So
I think there's a possibility one of our members, Maria, she may, I'm talking to her, so she's looking to join another club. So
She will join, yeah.
try to convince her to join. She just joined, but she's very charismatic type of lady.
Yeah.
She has completed her level 2 now.
Yeah.
And she's, yeah, I think she's completed level 3 now. So I think
Yeah.
she would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
She's
I'm hoping
RSA.
she will join. Yeah.
she's RSA.
That's great.
Yeah, let's talk